You rock, my friends. You Rock podcast is for women like you who want to own your life and live an engaged and joyful life. Hosted by Dr. Aliyah Majid, mom of 3, devoted wife, and a scientist turned life coach on a mission to empower women to take control of their lives. In this podcast, we deliver tools, insights, and inspiration on rocking your own life, owning to your highest potential, and becoming the best version of you. Now here's your host, Dr. Aliyah Majid.
Assalamualaikum and welcome back again to You Rock Podcast for ambitious women like you to go after the life that you want. And in this episode, I'll be sharing with you guys on how to recover quickly when your habits break down. So actually, this is something, one of the tips that I learned from the book that I really love. And I have been recommending this book for a while now to you guys. I think there was an episode that I suggested about this book that's called Atomic Habits by James Clear. So I love this book, and it's kind of like an eye-opener to me to think about how actually when you are, creating a habit, it's actually not that hard. No matter what your goals are, you can get better, 1% better every day. So one tips that I always reminded myself of doing is like, no matter how consistent I am with my habits, sometimes life happens, there's interruptions at some point and it becomes imperfect. So for example, skipping workout or not reading the book that I wanted to read and so on. Some kind of emergency pop up, you get sick or you have to travel, or for example, not really an emergency but like Raya and Ramadan kan, it is these things that you cannot just go back to the routine, and this kind of things happen and kind of interrupts your habit that you may have momentum before this. And when things like this happens, sometimes you break habit, meaning that you don't perform and you start to spiraling down into not doing it at all. So what the writer James Clear mentioned in this book, that whenever this happened to him, he tries to remind himself of a simple rule, which is never to miss twice. So what this means is that, let's say you want to work out every day, you want to start a exercise routine every day. That's something that you really want to create a habit, maybe this month, maybe this year. So if you miss one day, then it's okay. But if you miss 2 days, then it becomes something that is, you should be at the second day, you should be trying harder to make it the workout, because the idea behind this atomic habit is that the habit that you have chosen should be really, really easy to perform. So things like workout, it doesn't mean that you want to work out like 30 minutes, 15 minutes, whatever minimum, requirement that you can do, it is counted as your habit. So for example, the only thing that you can do as considered as workout for you at the moment is just walking around the house for 10 minutes. Then that become the minimum requirement that counted as the habit that you want to implement. So if you want to know more detail about this, you can check the book Atomic Habits by James Clear. You should grab this book and read it if you really want to change your habits, because really it is something that is really good in terms of how you can have a framework around building a habit that is not stressing you out. So because the reality is that we think about habit as something like bombastic, something like macam really, it should be really extraordinary. Like, okay, you want to work out 30 minutes 3 times per week, and starting from you not working out at all to becoming a person who have this full workout routine, and 30 minutes 3 times per week might be the requirement that you always hear, so you want to do that. But instead, strive for things that you can do at the minimum level, so that when it becomes your habit, for maybe you continue doing it for like 66 days. So if you have successfully doing this consistently for the 66 days, and then then maybe you can up the level, or maybe in the middle of it you feel like it's too easy and it's not challenging, you don't feel the excitement, you can up the time, or you can try a new routine that excites you more. So I always found clients who think like blaming themselves when they want to start a workout routine but end up not doing it. They feel like all or nothing cycle with the habits, so it's like if you are not working out, and you shouldn't be working out at all, but the important thing is that you try to do something that moves you a little bit further into the direction that you starting to become a person who starts working out regularly. So I just give you an example of myself. To be honest, during childhood, back when I was in primary school, high school, I was quite active in sports. I represented my school for netball and hockey. But after graduating from school, and I got into university, and because of the preparation to go overseas, which is, preparation to go Japan, we have to learn language, and we have like a really packed schedule, and I couldn't do any workout. If I would like to do it, it will be really, really late at the evening, maybe starting at 5 p.m, 6 p.m, like that. And that was the time when I feel like really tired, and so it's hard for me to sneak in any kind of exercise in the middle of the week. So what I'm saying is that when life becomes busy like that, I started to neglect working out, and this continues until I am at the university in Japan. And then when I birth my kids, it's kind of becoming more and more like my least priority, because my time is devoted for taking care of the kids, cooking, cleaning, and things like that, right? But then I feel like my energy kind of like depleted, because I think of not having that fitter body would make me more energized and things like that. So because of that, I learned on how can I integrate this habit to work out more often, but not making an excuse to not doing it. So that's when I found this book, Atomic Habit, and I tried to do what he was mentioning regarding improving just 1%. For example, during that time, I think the 1% is just me and changing into workout clothes and just go out and take a walk for 10 minutes around around my neighborhood, things like that. So yeah, that's counted as the habit of working out, until up to a point that I feel like, okay, I can do more. And now, alhamdulillah, even though, to be honest, I still not that achieving my target weight or things like that, but I feel like I'm the most energetic person that I can be at this age, and I might be more fitter as compared to the time when I didn't care about what I eat and whether or not I'm exercising. So back to this topic today about how can you really recover quickly when your habits break down, right? So for me, whenever my habit breaks down, though just now we just discussed a bit about never miss twice, but now what if we just have missed like 2 months, 3 months of not doing things, of not doing the workout, of not reading the book, of not whatever habit that you want to implement, right? So what if that happened? So if that's happened, for me, the first step is to reflect back on the bigger picture, right? The why of us doing all these things, and finding the deepest motivation would really bring the things that we want to do just light up. If you didn't see the bigger picture of it, you might feel like this is something that is just another things that you need to do, another things that need to be done in your life that you don't have that motivation to do it. So don't start with that one. Some people, their motivation to work out might be because their doctor said that you have to work out right now. You are not in a great shape. You need to take control of your eating and things like that. So that's kind of like a wake-up call. But for most of us who are still not, getting that notices from the doctor, and they'll be really grateful for that, but we don't want to become that, right? We want to prevent that. So maybe the motivation to really control our food intake or things that we eat, making it a healthier meal, or even starting to work out, we don't have a bigger motivation to do it. So if we don't look at the bigger picture and finding the why do we want to be more healthier at an older age? Why do we want to, have more energy? Why do we want to live longer and things like that? Thinking about why, asking yourself why. This will unlock certain things, that you might start to reflect that whatever that you are doing right now, the habit that you want to implement right now, is not something that just another thing in your to-do list. If it's something that have a bigger purpose, that serve a bigger purpose, you would start to think of the habit as the system to get to the purpose that you want to go. Okay, and then that's the first one, which is finding the why. The second one would be go back to the minimum requirement that you can do. So for example, maybe you have sleep from not working out, or from not reciting the Quran after Ramadan. Most of us, we have read pages of the Quran during Ramadan, but now when Raya comes, you being really busy, and now you are starting to go back to work and be really busy with work, and you couldn't find the time to do the things that you like to do, like those things that you have been, becoming the habits that you have done before this. So start back to the minimum requirement. So what's the minimum requirement that you can do? So if it is just reading sentence from the Quran and tadabbur the verse, just one sentence is the minimum that you can do for every day for the next 66 days, then let's that be the habit that you want to track. That's be okay too. The important thing here is that be improving 1% every day in the area that you want to improve, right? Most of us, we have this mistake of wanting to improve everything all at once, but in reality, if you are spreading your focus and attention like too thin, you might be overwhelmed and not having you will be setting yourself up for failure from the start. So instead of doing that, choose maybe 3 to 5 habits that you want to track and implement for the next 2 months or 3 months, or whatever duration that you want to do. Okay, I think that's the 2 tips. And the third one would be setting the reward system. When you completed the habit, attach it with something that you want to reward yourself. So for me, when I have done some some things that I really be consciously implementing and making it a habit, I like to reward myself with some herbal tea, fancy tea or whatever, things like that I don't, maybe not drinking it every day, but because of the thing that I have been doing, maybe getting out a little bit from my comfort zone. So this becomes my little reward that I give to myself. So, but it can be anything for you, and think about that, so that you close this loop of, doing something that is like maybe challenging for you. And by doing that, you receive something that is instant reward. Because let's face it, the habit that you want to implement, you will not see the result immediately. You might see the result maybe 6 months, maybe 1 year after that, after you have been doing this every day. So if you need that motivation, which most of us really need that motivation, you have to reward yourself with whatever things that suitable for that habit that you want to implement. Okay, before that, I forgot to remind you guys to subscribe to this episode if you are new here, or if you think that this podcast would be beneficial to anyone that you know, make sure you share it to those people so that this podcast can grow. And I really want to make this platform for all of us career women who are after the life that we want, finding fulfillment and finding engagement in things that we want to do. And this is the place for us to connect with that. And whatever that you learn from this, I hope that you will share with the people that you think could benefit from this too. And the next tip about habit is that thinking about the cue. The cue of you when you are doing that habit. I give the example about working out because, just be honest, starting from Ramadan and then Raya, I have been neglecting my workout a little bit because, let's be honest, during Ramadan I just put it aside and I don't do anything. I want to focus on Ramadan, so that's why I don't blame myself for not doing anything except stretching at home and things like that. But then when Raya comes, all of those rendang and cookies and everything, the body starts to feel really, really berat, really tired, and really, it's time for me to get back into the routine, get back into a good workout routine. So I thought that just going for like the usual, before this I can do like 3 to 4 workout interval walk, 30 minutes, 45 minutes per session would be something that I can go back to. But I found that it's becoming really hard. It's becoming really hard because once I've done it, I feel like I don't want to do it anymore. So meaning that instead of being able to do it for like 3 to 4 times per week, I ended up like doing it for just one day that week, and then my body get really sakit sana sini, aching everywhere, and then I stop working out. So then today I realized that no, I cannot push myself like that because I have been stopping working off this workout routine. I have been stopping it for like maybe 2 months already. So to get back into that, my body is not used to it anymore, so the habit is kind of gone by now. So I feel like, okay, tiny changes. So I have to start with the 1% again. So today I feel better a bit because today I make a new kind of tweak my routine. Instead of do the interval walk for the whole 45 minutes, I do strength training, which is for me is something like, it looks easy, but it is the effect the effect is much stronger, I think, because when you are lifting weight, your body is endure much more berat, makin berat. So it becomes something that not gonna be too long lah, the workout. Okay, sorry if I'm babbling a lot. Honestly, today I'm recording at 10:40 p.m. It has been a really busy week this week, so I have been putting off recording this podcast till the last minute, and actually I'm now preparing to go to sleep, but no, I have to record this for you guys first before I go to sleep because that's my promise to you guys. So what I'm saying here is that, okay guys, we can do this. We can start with just one tiny changes, 1%, whatever it may be. List down the 3 to 5 mini habits, the habits that you want to focus this month. It's already June, right? It's already June, so it's just a good time for you to reflect back on, okay, what are the habits that you want to really nail down this month. Maybe 3 to 5 things is just too many things for you. Maybe you want to focus just for one thing. Like me, to be honest, this month I want to really focus on nailing down my workout routine again. So that'll be just my one thing, one habit for this month. And for my other habits like reading book consistently every day, things like that, for me, I think that doing things like routinely already for that, consistently already for that, I don't put much effort into that anymore. So June would be nailing down that workout routine. So I hope if you found me, in my Instagram story trying to work out, that's me showing up, walaupun I'm sebenarnya really malas nak show up for workout, but I'm doing my best because I know you guys are here listening to me and we are in this together. The struggle we have, all of us have the same struggle, and by connecting, by supporting each other, by understanding that we are not in this thing alone, we can go through this together and find the success that we want and find the happiness that we want in our life. So before I end this podcast for today, just to remind you guys that I'll be conducting a mini workshop, a live webinar on the 19th of June, which is called the Design Your Ideal Week, and we'll be going through a lot of things during this webinar. So some of the things that we'll be covering during this webinar is the complete breakdown on how to plan your week effectively. So I have been sharing to you guys from before this too, that there's planning and then there is planning effectively, and in this webinar I'll be sharing the step-by-step approach on how you can also plan your week effectively so that you will get to achieve all the goals and projects that you want to achieve, and find the happiness, find the joyful moment in your life, and build that into the week, so that your daily life will be something that you are excited to go to every single day. And then the second one would be, I'll be sharing with you guys some of the common pitfalls that I've seen in high performing women and how you can overcome it. And then the last one would be me sharing the tools that get my clients and me go from overwhelmed to empowered really quickly. So this is something that you must not miss. I hope to see you guys there during the live webinar. It's a place that you can also interact with me and ask any question that you want to ask me. I'll be answering to all of the questions that you are giving to me. And yeah, I hope to see you guys. You can book, reserve your seat from the link that's available below. So with that, remember guys to start your day with intention, love what you do, and end your day with gratitude. I'll see you next week. Assalamualaikum. Are you struggling to find time for yourself or for things that matters to you? Or if you even ever find some time, you found that you can't simply slow down and stop thinking about work. If you are one of those women, you'll benefit from the Success Accelerator program, my 12 weeks one-on-one success and productivity coaching program that helps you to do less and get more work done so that you can spend more time doing things you love. Book a free call with me at draliamajid.com/coaching, or you can do a self-assessment using my free life audit workbook at draliamajid.com/life audit. Or you can even join my Facebook group from the link below. Again, thanks so much for tuning in. Bye bye. Assalamualaikum.